Klamath Community College. We're going to start at the Oregon Goes to College website. From the college info menu, choose Apply to College. That takes us to a page that has some great information about how to prepare to apply, including a list of the kinds of information and documents you'll need to have with you as you submit the application, and some tips for how to get through the application process. I already am prepared and have all of the things that I need in front of me to apply to Klamath Community College, so I'm going to scroll down to the table that has a list of all of the colleges in the state and choose Klamath Community College. That's going to take me directly to their website. On their website, I can find information about how to reach the application form. This green Apply Online link is going to take me there. This takes me to a page that asks me what kind of application will I be submitting. I plan on graduating from high school this spring and becoming a student at Klamath in the fall after that. And so I will be a degree-seeking student at that time. So if I click on this form, it will take me to the application for that. The first page has some information about what I'm going to need to do after I complete this application form. An application form is just the first step. And so there's a few things that I need to do after that in order to enroll. But the first step is the application form. So I'm going to read through that information and click Next when I've done so. That shows me that over here on the left-hand side, all of these items that I'm going to need to complete in order to finish my application. We can see that we got a red check mark after information, and so once we complete each of these and we'll see check marks show up there as well. First question is about my name. When I complete this, I want to make sure that I am providing my legal first name. That's the name that appears on my birth certificate, on my high school transcript, on my driver's license if I have one, my legal first name. And I want to make sure that I'm providing that I'm using capital letters where appropriate. Now the next question asking me for a suffix. Suffix is for those of us who have junior or senior or first, second, or third a number after our name. I don't have that, but if you do, you'll want to include it there. My preferred name, this is asking me, do I have a name that I prefer somebody call me other than the legal name that I provided at the top? I do. I have a nickname that I much prefer people use when they refer to me, and that is Livy. So I'm going to enter that there. I can choose my gender identification here and my marital status. I am not married, I'm single. This question is about my birth date, and it's reminding me that when I complete this or when I go to the calendar that I need to make sure that I am changing the year, so I'm not choosing, for example, 2020, I'm choosing the actual year of my birth. So let's see what happens when I click on that calendar. It gives me this option. So I was born in 2003, so I'm going to scroll up here, and I was born in January of 2003. So I'm going to scroll back on the first of the month, and so my birth date shows up here. My social security number. This is optional. I do not have to provide it for admission. I can attend Klamath Community College even if I don't have a social security number. However, if I'm planning to apply for federal financial aid, I do need to provide my social security number, both when I complete the FAFSA and to the college itself. And it's much easier to do that now as I'm applying than it would be to come back and do so later. So I'm going to enter my social security number at this time. Am I a United States veteran? No, I'm not, but if you are, you're going to want to go ahead and say yes. These next questions about race and ethnicity are not required, but if you feel like you would like to answer them, you certainly can. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to identify as Hispanic or Latino and choose white as my race. Now I have some choices. I can go back to that information page if I have questions that I'm not quite sure about. I can save this and quit and come back later, or I can choose next to continue going on. I'm ready to continue on, so let's click next. You'll notice here again I have a red checkbox that tells me I completed my biographical information. This is the contact information. So they're looking for my address and phone number on this page. First question, do I live outside of the United States? I do not. My address here, I'm going to provide, I'm going to type that in. And the second address line is a good place to put your apartment number if you have one. And I do, so I'm going to choose that here. And the zip code. And city and state is going to be a drop-down menu, so I'm going to scroll and find Oregon. And the county that I'm in, Corvallis, is in Benton County, so I'm going to choose that. And country, it already shows that I'm in the United States of America, so I'm going to leave that blank. My mobile phone number, I'm going to add here. And it's asking me for a permanent phone number if it's different from my mobile number. I don't have another number, so I'm going to leave that blank. This question is about text messaging. This is telling me that if there are emergencies, I'm going to get text messages from Klamath Community College. This is asking, do I want other kinds of text messaging, or do I want to opt out of that and only receive emergency notifications? I don't mind getting text messages from the college, so I'm going to say no. I do not want to opt out. If I did mind getting text messages, I would choose yes. They're asking for my email address. Remember that when we're applying to college, we should have an email address that is specifically that we check on a regular basis and that we use for all of our college and financial aid purposes and scholarships. And so I'm going to enter that here. This told me that I didn't complete entering the address correctly, and so I can go back and fix that. And it's asking me to make sure that I gave it to them correctly by entering it a second time to make sure that they match. Again, I can save and quit and come back later, or I can move on to the next section. It tells me now I've completed the contact. This section, candidacy information, this is asking what kind of student do I plan to be when I'm at Klamath, and what do I want to study? The applicant type, I plan to be a first-year student. I haven't gone to college before. It'll be my first time enrolling after high school, so first-year student. I plan on going full-time, and I plan on attending at the main campus in Klamath Falls. If you have different answers to any of those questions, you would select other responses. I plan on graduating in 2021 and therefore starting college in the fall of 2021, and again in the fall. What am I interested in studying? What do I plan to study? I am interested in studying, well, I'm not really sure yet. I have a lot of different interests. I'm not 100% certain, but I do think that I might like to transfer to an Oregon university after I finish my 2-year degree at the community college, so I'm going to choose that I plan to be a transfer student, an Oregon transfer student, getting my associates for transfer. Am I a legal resident of Oregon, California, Washington, Idaho, or Nevada? Yes, I am of Oregon. So again, next, and move on to hobbies and interests. This is a section where the college is trying to understand a little bit more about me. This is going to help them, for example, provide me with information about how I can get involved in things other than classes. So it's asking me about my hobbies and interests. I'm interested in the diversity club, yes. I am also interested in learning a little bit more about the psychology club, and I kind of like math, and so I'm going to ask for or let them know that I'm interested in the Pirates Math Club. And how did I find out about Klamath Community College? I learned about it from a friend, and I don't see that on here, so I'm going to choose Other and click Next. This next section is asking me about my education. So this is asking me about where I go to high school first, and this is asking for the state that my high school is in, and it is Oregon. And now it's pulling up a list of Oregon high schools, and I can scroll down to find the high school that I attend. And so we're going to choose Corvallis High School, and I'm planning on graduating in June of 2021. And so I can scroll through to find that. And I don't know the exact date. That's okay. I'm going to choose a date in June. It's okay if that's not the exact date. Do I have a GED? I do not, because I'm going to get a high school diploma. I have not attended any colleges or universities, so I'm going to leave this section blank. If you have attended a college or university or have taken classes at a college or university, you can provide that information here. Again, it's going to ask you what state or country that college was in, the name of that particular college, and then whether or not you earned a degree. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click Next, and that takes me to the Finish page. That means that I have now completed my application. I need to submit it by clicking this button here. When I do that, I will have successfully applied to Klamath Community College, and when you do the same, you will have too. Congratulations.